This project entails the curriculum development, which I created along with 3 SMEs. So 3 courses were created by 3 SMEs, Dr. Chris Bronk, Mr. Joel Odd, and Gary Hale. And we had the assistance of a student, Gotham. This project entails a comprehensive, sizable educational program. A number of innovative courses were developed out of great respect to the US Department of Homeland Security, the CBP, agencies and offices, and all the amazing things that you all are doing to safeguard this great nation. In this project, we wanted to educate the new generation of students and groom them into understanding the core values, ethics, and principles required in order to take them from a high school and a college perspective into becoming the uniformed guardians of our nation. We created 2 thematic concentrations, border operations management, so we focused on the operational component, and then the borders, trade, and transport security with focus on the security component. This was an almost 1 year project period, and this took place in the middle of a pandemic. We wanted to educate the workforce and develop skills, the writing skills, but also the deep understanding of the values and all the basic principles for the future and current HSE employees. The objectives of the project pertain to building this pathway for high school, the transition again, the college students to pursue a career path with the DHS and the Homeland Security enterprise. Develop the new curriculum for a Bachelor of Science with 2 minors, 3 important concentrations, and a master's degree program. At the same time, we designed 2 certificate programs on border, trade, and transport security, border operations management, and we wanted to offer to professionals not only working within the government, but also the industry. So these are the key themes and the bottom line of our deliverables, which we are going to analyze shortly. We developed 28 new courses, 15 undergraduate and 13 graduate. Please remember, because a lot of things are moving fast, so front page news, new legislation, new regulatory framework. We are here, even after the project is over, to amend and create, the revised versions if you want us to. 28 existing courses are offered at the U of H level, so this is a part of the program at an undergraduate level. The BDI, Dr. Mara De Leon, focused on the approval at a university level. We approved 8 undergraduate courses, 2 minors, and 2 certificates, and now our team is actually working on approving the remaining courses, graduate and undergraduate. And we are focusing on a transition plan, and we're very excited about it because it entails the outreach and the search for funds, which may entail to new educational research or new educational grants at a state and government level. Now, again, within our deliverables, we created 1,400 pages of original content and a lot of diagrams and tables, in addition to the books, the vast volumes of books and research papers that comprise the readings for this program. Again, 15 of the new courses pertain to the Bachelor of Science, 13 courses are the Master of Science courses, 131 original videos, 134 PowerPoint files. Now the methodology for our research, the preparation. First of all, we had to look at what is not offered. So we conducted a review of other university offerings within the US and around the world. We identified important educational gaps. So we saw the values, the mission, the vision of the DHS, the CBP, and we wanted to make sure that all of these are incorporated into our new program. And we focused on other programs that deliver courses on border management and operations, cross-border trade, and transport security. So we wanted to see what gaps exist. We designed the curriculum, and of course, it took us most of the time to develop the content. The need analysis, first of all, we went through the syllabi of the other US and global programs to offer these innovative topics, and we gathered information about 25 American graduate programs, 26 American undergraduate programs, and 10 European graduate and undergraduate programs. Next, we made sure that the approval process and the course offering process is in line with the regulations of the state of Texas, the University of Houston, and of course, the bylaws of the College of Technology. We, create the preparation for the number of credits, the delivery format and all that, the programmatic emphasis. So this is the preparation for the deliverables. So every new course has a syllabus and learning objectives, which are very detailed, and all of them, I have to repeat, are aligned with the mission and vision. We went through what the Border Patrol agents are doing, what the CBP professionals in different divisions are doing, and we wanted to make sure that every learning objective makes sense at a DHS component. The program is packed with new readings, video tutorials, and cases, because this is the only way for the students to be prepared and have a visual understanding of what happens and what their professional duties will be at the border, at the ports of entry, and so forth. The assignments and assessments, we developed them in a way that the students will assume they already work for the DHS, for the CBP, for Border Patrol, and so forth. So we wanted to make sure that the students will think as if they already work there, and they address challenges and they solve problems. Next, we transferred, and this I have to thank the BDI team for transferring this massive volume of courses online. Learning management system. We have two different learning management systems. The first one is Canvas, the second is Blackboard. It depends if the students work for the government or if they are enrolled undergraduate and grad University of Houston students. And this is what we promised, and this is what we accomplished. We developed the need analysis, the curriculum plan development. We created 20 undergraduate and 13. So we promised to create 10 graduate courses, but we designed the foundation for 13 graduate courses. We created the instructional strategies, technology-based instructional resources for 8 modules in the beginning. So we started with some modules, which we fully developed later on, and so forth. So we attained, we kept our promise to the DHS, and we move on again with the deliverables one by one. So this is the list of the courses that were pre-existing, and yet we made sure that they are fully aligned with the mission and vision of the DHS. So technical writing, I have to mention, that is a big part of this program, because we understand that for the newly recruited personnel, they need impeccable writing skills, or at least they need to work on them as they mature professionally. So all of our courses focus a lot on the technical component and the problem-solving component. So you can see we have a lot of, courses about politics, U.S. government, and so forth, about maths and STEM knowledge that is going to be very handy. And here we added some courses, pre-existing of course, but within the concentrations of trade and transport, we added economics and policy, migration, we added immigration, one immigration course, and we created 3 new courses, and technology, which is a big factor for this program. And this is the list of the new courses we developed. So these courses actually have a manual coming with them, and we focus on Introduction to Homeland Security, Fundamentals of Border Operations Management, National Security Law. You know the list. Maybe I do not need to read each one of them, but the most important thing is what happens, what is the story behind them. So we wanted to make sure that the students are familiar with the work, the vision and mission of the border agencies and strategic border management. We wanted them to be familiar with the International Ethics and Governance Code first, then the DHS. Working for the government anyway pertains to an ethics code. The DHS has its own code, the CBP and different agencies have their own code, so we wanted to make sure our students are familiar with this. For the cross-border challenges, we wanted to make sure that, there are so many different challenges and we wanted to address that topic. Tariff classification and free trade agreements. So we understood what the processes for the government, for CBP, but we also embedded some political science notions, the diplomatic relations, how trade agreements are created, and so forth, tariffs, which is a big deal, and so forth. Transportation law and border regulations, this again is going to help us understand the role of the Border Patrol professionals and how the transportation law components make sense. Again, international trade treaties, and we move on to the second concentration on migration, which is another key topic. So you see we have 3 concentrations: trade and transport, migration, and technology. So the second migration, we take the big picture, what happens around the world in terms of different types of migration, what is considered as legitimate versus illegitimate, and how the history of migration has evolved in the US for centuries, literally. And we zoom into the legal perspective, what happens in the US, what are the challenges, but also the opportunities. And one thing that we have to highlight for any controversial topic is the fact that the DHS professionals, especially CBP, USBP, and so forth, entail the law enforcement body. So we don't make the rules, we enforce the rules. So this is something that the general population has to understand. We move on with a concentration on technology. Again, this is another topic that moves very fast because technologies from one year to another, a lot of developments take place. So this is another exciting set of courses focusing on technologies used at the border. We are delighted to confirm that in February 2021, we had this list of courses that were approved at a university level. So we have to remember that first there is an approval at a department level, then a college level, finally at the provost's office. So again, I know that Maura and Catherine and a team of professionals worked very hard on this one to make it happen. Then 2 minors were approved and 1 certificate course. And now we're finalizing the remaining courses to be approved. This is the list of the graduate courses. And as you can see, I mean, the topics, maybe the next slide is going to be more comprehensive, we wanted to focus on notions both from a theoretical perspective, so the strategy, operations management, change management, risk management, a very sturdy understanding of the research methods, data analytics, because this is the future of DHS and CBP and so forth. The leadership at a government level, decision making and ethics. So all of these notions, and I'm going back to the list of courses, have two bodies. The first body is the theoretical approach, and the second body is how we create case studies where students can put themselves into the settings of working at the border or within a port of entry, which can literally be anywhere geographically. And just a few things about the courses. We started with the preliminary, we call it the Genesis courses, Introduction to Homeland Security and Fundamentals of Border Management. And these courses, because they will be the first ones that students will take when they enroll in our course, in our program, we wanted to show them and give them an understanding of the DHS core values, the service before self, the importance of guarding America, why we needed to have borders, how we have to honor our homeland, but also our global partners, our general population, and the stakeholders. Both these courses are very heavy in writing. I would say the Homeland Security course is extremely intensive when it comes to creative writing, and it goes through many different working documents for DHS professionals. Let me zoom in and say CBP professionals. And then I have to comment on Phil, our BDI colleague, which has done an exceptional job with creating these flyers. So you can see other courses, customs regulations and procedures, very important to understand the MODE Act, the CBP initiatives for security, pre-clearance, joint inspections, all of these topics, which are, they are changing from one month to another. We're improving some processes and we're learning and we have best practices. Again, ethics and governance, a lot of empirical analysis information, how we can protect human rights and at the same time keep the rules, abide to the rules, what is considered as ethical and lawful versus the opposite. The cyber policy, so this is a course created by Dr. Bronk, which is a cyber expert. The history of migration, immigration law and policies, the global landscape. So you can see that these courses are packed with information from a historical perspective, data analytics, the legal perspective. So to make the story short, we are creating a multidisciplinary framework. It is not just, just a description, but the students will be able to enhance their understanding from and also understand many disciplines. Border agencies, border security technology, transportation law and border regulation. Again, for these courses, we have a long list of laws and different conventions, the US Constitution. So this is going to create responsible and accountable professionals. Finally, we have the capstone project, which is culminating all the knowledge that the students have acquired from every other course in this program. And we look forward to this because it's going to give our students the opportunity to collaborate, hopefully with a government entity, like hopefully we can discuss about this at a later stage, but the students are actually going to do a kind of, it's like a mini internship. They're going to do some work, they're going to solve a problem or do work for a particular agency or company. And finally, we have the two training flyers. As you can see, the courses here are the same ones that we have already mentioned. You know, we have 4 courses. Like we have, each flyer has 4 courses, which the students can take one by one as a stackable certificate system, or they can enroll in all 4 of them and finish them concurrently. The important thing is that for all of these courses, the students can work at the border, they can work remotely, it doesn't matter. You know, we are flexible enough. This program was designed with the idea that the professionals will be working in challenging conditions. They won't have to come to campus, and we are here to support them as much as possible. Then let's move on with the transition components, the content copyright. So we are working on this to make sure that the University of Houston Division of Research, Office of Technology, you know, we are working on this component, and we're going to confirm very shortly that this has been done. Next component, the approval at a university and state board of higher education. So this, again, we are going to verify in the near future. The process, as you understand, there are many entities involved. The process is complex, so we are going to notify you shortly on this one. And finally, the marketing and outreach. So for this one, we have been working already. I have to mention that at this point, we've already had 37 students for taking the undergraduate pilot courses so that they give us some feedback. And also 6 students are taking the certification program. So we're excited about this. And of course, we have much more time to do the outreach. The time has come. So we're going to conduct outreach at a university level, at an industry level, and also we would love to collaborate with the DHS, CBP, as much as possible with our project champion, and be able to get government employees to enroll in our very valuable program. And of course, we are also going to be working shortly in pursuing educational grants as alternative funding methods. We are going to organize an outreach webinar. It's going to be mid-May, subject to availability of all the professionals to participate, and you're cordially invited to be a part of this. We look forward to collaborating with you. And having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.